In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, a goldsmith once said to me that his grandfather, while sitting with the rest of the goldsmiths, said that the gold has become several hundred rupees per tola per 10 grams. So that is something which is very much unaffordable to the public, and maybe they do have to close this business, and they might have to start any other one because there is no future of the gold business. It has become very expensive. It has become several hundred rupees per 10 gram. But compare it with now, when it is more than 100,000 rupees per 10 grams, but the people are still buying it. But the people are still buying it. Dear friends, how strange it is. Some of the people say that since the things are getting very expensive, so the life is becoming very difficult indeed. Is it true, by the way? I'm not in favor of the price hike at all. Please don't take me like that one. But the things are getting expensive with the passage of time. Sometimes this price hike is slow, while at certain other time this is very high. I am not talking something which is political. I am an apolitical person, at least while speaking to you. My dear friends and fellows, look upon certain other things, certain other necessities of the life, like the plots for the construction of the houses, or the construction of the house itself. Both of these ingredients, it used to be very cheap. The construction material used to be very cheap. The land used to be very cheap, but it was not considered very cheap at that time. Now it is considered very expensive. At that time too, the construction material and the land was considered very expensive, like the gold. And this is not with the housing industry only. This is not with the gold only. It is too with each and everything else. Now I think at that time too, even half a century back, even a century back, the things were considered as very expensive and out of the reach of the people. But some of the people were intelligent enough, and they thought that it is not that the things have become very expensive, it is rather that we have not increased our income. What they did is that they kept trying, they tried to increase their income, and today they are considered as very wealthy people. They can buy whatever they want to do because they thought differently. Now, what we need to do is that we too need to think differently. It is not like the things are getting expensive, rather, it is like our purchasing power is becoming weaker. Our purchasing power has become so weak because we are not working. We are not working hard to increase our income. We should have rather thought differently. We should have rather worked differently. We should have rather changed our perspective of the things. So instead of always moaning and groaning that the things have become very expensive, it was a far better option and a far right way of a very much right way to think that our income is very slow, our income is very low, and that we need to increase our income, that we need to make our income better and better, my dear friends and fellows in Pakistan and abroad. So the trouble with the today's people is look upon our compatriots, the way they people are thinking, the way they people are behaving, the way we people are thinking and behaving. We today have again found saying that the things have become very expensive. It is out of the reach of the people. Maybe it is not out of the reach of the people. It is not out of the reach of us only. It is out of the reach of us only because we have not increased our income. We should have worked very hard to increase our income, my dear, which very few of us have actually done. Overwhelming number of the people have kept crying, have kept moaning and groaning, have kept criticizing the successive governments that our income that the things have become very expensive. So I think so. I remember a friend of mine told me several decades back that his uncle once advised him that don't cut off from the friends and the fellows, rather try to increase your income, because what does happen is that we people are found cutting ourselves off from the people, from our relatives, from our friends. Why? Because we think that I can't go with them, because it has become expensive to socialize much. What we did rather is that we cut ourselves off from our relatives, even from our friends, even with the purpose of saving the money, that we are unable to go with the people. My dear friend, we need to change our perspective, we need to change the way we think, because if at all we don't want to become a rich people, if at all we don't want to become a comfortable people, then all what we need to do is that we should keep reducing our expensive. Instead, we need to enhance our income, and that one shift is, I think, which will get the things done, and which has the ability to revolutionize our life. We need to take care of our life, we need to take care of our health, and all of that is possible. We need to become prosperous, and we need to enhance our income, we need to enhance our business. That is the only approach which can make us go with the flock, which can make us go with the word, which can make us one of the prosperous people, one of the affluent people, one of the comfortable people. And if at all we are content we are content in being with the maximum number of the poor people, the people maybe they were not poor earlier, but because of the changing prices of the items, I think they have become poorer. I think we need to come out of the poverty. If at all we find ourselves in the poverty, if at all we are finding it difficult, if at all we are finding it difficult to meet our expenses, I think if at all we focus and concentrate upon reducing our profits, upon reducing our expenses, what is going to happen that we will become poor. If at all we are not poor today, then by adopting this approach we will become poor, and maybe we will stay poor. So if at all we don't want to become a poor person, all what is needed is that we need to start working. We need to chart out a plan. How can I come out of the poverty? How can I gain the affluence? How can I become a comfortable person? And that would all be possible only by improving and constantly improving and considerably improving our income. And that is the only way. That is the only way. If at all we don't want to be left behind, most of the people have left behind. Why? Because they did not, and they could not enhance their income. They did not make it a priority. We need to make it a priority. And as far the old methods of living are concerned, as for the old methods of working are concerned, as for the old planning is concerned, as for all of those old things are concerned, we need to keep changing. And the change has become so much compulsory. It is not an optional. If at all we don't change, and we do take it as something which is optional, what is going to happen then? We will never be able to go with the word. We will never be able to keep ourselves updated. The trouble with us is that if at all someone of us tries to increase their income and tries to somehow distance oneself from the people who are not trying to improve their income, that person, he or she, is considered as somebody who is very self-centered, as somebody who is very selfish, as somebody who is quite a materialistic person. I think it is not a materialism, it is rather the need of the hour. Because if at all we don't do that, what is going to happen then? We will be left far behind, and then I think that we will be slipping backward instead of moving forward, or at least we will not be even able to keep ourselves amongst the people with whom we were few decades back, with whom we are today, because many of them have developed and many of them are struggling and striving and doing whatever they can to keep themselves keep themselves afloat. I think we need to keep ourselves afloat. So instead of drowning in the ocean of price hike, in the ocean of inflation, in the ocean of the changing needs, in the ocean of all of these changes, we don't need to drown. We need to keep ourselves afloat, and to be able to keep ourselves afloat, we need to do several things. We need to keep ourselves healthy. First of all, not only the physical health should be a priority, rather the psychological health should also be a priority. As far relationships are concerned, we need to maintain the relationships. That is fine, but while maintaining the relationship, it is essential and it is very important indeed that we do try to keep ourselves afloat, and that is only possible if at all we are working hard to improve our income, to improve our income on a constant basis. We might be in need of changing the field in which we are working. We might be in need to change our station, our city of working, of the market we are working in, and we need to improve our performance quite substantially at the same time. Otherwise we will be drowning in the ocean of the price hike, in the ocean of the inflation, in the ocean of the changing world. Thank you.